Yeah, I agree, Shanli. I agree. Hello everyone, Lano here, back with some things on the interwebs, because that's what we do, because it is soon Christmas. I even have this mask. It's actually not a hat, but it's actually a big sock that I got a couple of years ago I found in my closet. So I decided, you know what, today it's a hat. And of course we have Shanli here as well, and it's fitting because I have decided that I will do a little bit of a, holiday gift, you know, because it is around the times now. After all, the balls are jingling, the glitter is glimmering, and my economy is simmering. Bad. Why are you so cute? Huh? You know that's a crime against that, right? And to make this a little bit of a festive day, we are gonna be checking out a video here today by no other than JoCat. You know, JoCat is someone that I deeply respect, man. It is a cool dude, and I actually wrote to them, you know, an email, because I asked them, because I saw they had been getting into Pathfinder 2e, which I love, and asked if they wanted to, you know, play together or something like that. They didn't reply, but their manager actually did, and they said that they had so much things to do already, which I honestly, I'm just happy that they did reply. That I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. And we are going to be checking out their video here, which is my first trip to Japan, JoCat Story. This is a long video. There was a long while I actually did react to a longer video, so we're going to be checking it here today. And I'm excited for this because, first of all, I never been to Japan. I would love to visit. In fact, I never been outside of Sweden, which I'm living in. I never been outside my country because I never had the economy to do that, to travel and stuff. I've been very localized in this little area, so to speak. And it kind of sucks because there's so many places in the world I would love to visit, you know. I would like to visit Indonesia, Japan, Brazil. Well, at least where Potato lives. I don't know where he lives, in somewhere in that weird country. But yeah, there are so many countries I would love to visit, but sadly I don't have the money for that. I can barely live where I'm living right now. So we are instead gonna be watching JoCat's story and his adventure to his very first trip to Japan. It sounds very fun. And I did see that people have been sharing on Twitter that there are lots of like other creators popping up in this. So I'm actually curious to see this. I see how many I can recognize, and yeah. We're gonna do that. And of course, links to the original video and JoCat's channel is in the description. So go there and support him and the amazing work they do, because they are a fantastic creator. So with that, let's jump right into this and have ourselves a little look. Oh man, you know, I was supposed to have this on, but god damn, my head is boiling. Oh my god, I'm gonna do like this instead. Rich person cosplay. Oh, I'm so rich that I can't even fathom to not have money. And that is how people ended up with the guillotines. Woo! Cat, please, why are you messing with everything I have? I love you, but you don't need to shove everything. Ah! Shelly? Yes, you are cute. Even if you're lacking some fur, because, you know, you've been a little bit sick. Mwah. But I'm trying to work here. Mwah. Or whatever you call this. I don't know. Work. It makes me thinking on people that is constantly like warring between working 9-to-5 job is harder than streaming, or vice versa. And as someone that have both been streamer, content creator for many years, as well worked in factories for many years, I think it's just silly, man. I'm just saying, both are exhausting on a very different ways, you know. And what I felt like when I was working factory was that after I quit and stamped out from work, nothing more I needed to think about work. It was over. It was done. You know, you left work at the factory door. You know, but as a streamer, you constantly are thinking, or a creator, like, oh man, I need to do something. What am I gonna do? Like, it's a very more mental taxing in a way. Though, of course, working a factory, oh boy, I probably broke more things there than I ever done in my entire life. Oh boy. But yeah, I just want to say that. I think it's kind of unnecessary to be like, the one is worse than the other. Both can be really bad, man. I'm just saying. Though I would actually prefer to be a content creator in that sense. I will be the one in charge of what I'm doing, rather than working in a factory when others decide for you what you are gonna do. Which can be honestly very nice as well, because you don't need to think they go do that, and you're like, okay, I'm doing that, I get paid for it, done. Though I also feel like, man, I want to have a creator, because then I don't have a boss that can be above me and yell at me, because that was one reason why I had mental breakdowns, because bosses were constantly yelling at me, and I can't handle that. I'm a big baby. Ah, well, whatever. You know what? Let's jump right into this. My first trip to Japan, JoCat story time. It was a long overdue. Let's check this out. Written and... Okay, I already love the little animation. God, that is a very Gobo speak, Gobo juice, Gobo pet. Does it mean I get a pet, or do I get petted by Gobo? I think that's a win either way. Man, and he has such a cute bot. Okay, I don't give how gay this sounds, but this is a fucking adorable. Anyone that is insecure about their masculinity, don't be. This is cute. God dang it. Man, I love the background.
I want to tell you a story about my first trip to Japan.
Can I also just say, I love his voice. Such good voice. I hate my own voice. I seriously do. And every single time I edit my videos, I kind of like dissociate myself from my own voice. I don't even connect that it's me anymore. Aww. Wait, was that a place called Butte? That's a funny name.
So Echo and I always wanted to go. Her as someone who potentially wants to live there one day, and me as someone who always wanted to see what the culture was about.
Yeah.
Though I had flown internationally before, this would be my first time in almost a decade since the last time I did. Combined with the fact that I am growing a developing hatred towards flying, I was prepared for 15 hours of dread. And it was dreadful.
I can feel that. I mean, I have never, as I said, I have never left country. I never been flying, but I'm afraid of heights. So just the idea of sitting on an airplane is terrifying as well. Like, oh, height. I probably need to like be sedated before I get on board.
I'm someone who cannot sleep unless they're laying down, so the entire flight was just me adjusting and readjusting my position to try and get just a little bit of shut-eye, with zero luck.
I'm sorry if I interrupt like this, but I feel like I normally I can't sleep when I sit down, but I have been exhausted enough that I actually did. Like when I was in school once, I accidentally fell asleep sitting in my chair. Or when I was at my very first job, I've been working there for a couple of years, I was so tired when I sat down, I was like, oh no, I can't sit down, because if I do, I actually fall asleep. So I stood up and I woke, as I was about to fall down to the floor, I fell asleep standing. Because I had so little sleep, because I have insomnia and everything, so yeah! Oh man.
But thankfully, when it was finally over, I had a lot of fun to look forward to. Right after we get through customs. And grab our train cards, and Wi-Fi box, and cash, and drag our very heavy bags through the city to our Airbnb. The flight arrived at about 4 p.m., but we didn't make it to the place we were staying at until nearly 9. Most of the time we had spent waiting in line for our train cards, since there was only one terminal for basically everyone at the airport. This was because there was a chip shortage for the Suica cards that let you use the public transit in Tokyo, and the only ones available were the Welcome Suica cards, which only lasted 28 days. But that was fine, because that's about how long we were going to stay. After all that was done, we finally made it to our home base for the month, an apartment in Sumida City, and also by a very convenient Lawson, of which we would visit near daily whenever we would need a quick meal. Thank you, Lawson employees. You are our heroes. So, here we...
That's so cute. Oh my god. It reminds me... You're back when I was a young strapping lad. I was out there with my friends. We were always, like, whenever... Like 20 years back, we were like in this parish hall, because we could hire it, rent it readily than hire, rent it for free on weekends. So we were there and playing like tabletop role-playing games and stuff like that, like almost every single weekend for like a couple of years. And there was this little store in that little village where you could go and buy like whatever. Like it was extremely small, so it didn't have super much, but it had enough. And we would go there like every weekend and buy. It was a bit expensive, of course, but we got there, we bought, and I think we were the ones that kept it running for those years.
We're finally in
A
Japan.
glorious
We chose
little
Tokyo
store.
because it's the most foreigner-friendly, a nice baby's first Japan location. Especially considering Echo is still learning the language, and I know little to none of that language. I can speak Thai though. แต่ว่าผมลืมภาษาไทยไปตั้งเยอะ แล้วก็พูดเหมือนฝรั่ง
Damn, I can speak Indonesian. I can say one word. Well, one sentence. Selamat malam. And I can speak Weebanese, aka anime Japanese. Oh yeah, that reminds me. JoCat, if he was Japanese, would he be JoCata? Like Yakata, like well, whatever. That's such a cute art. Oh my gosh.
There's a lot of English translations around for signage, but most impressively, the public transit was so easy to understand that as far as getting around goes, we had basically no problems finding our way around the city. So, what did we do on our first day in this new foreign country to us, ripe with centuries of culture and dozens of fun new things to do?
Puppies!
Against the recommendations of a good friend of ours.
Gajin Gumba. Okay, that's amazing. First one I do recognize. I probably know the others as well. I just don't connect them because my brain is weird. But oh my god, Gajin Gumba. He's an awesome creator, man. He has a lot of cool stuff. And now he's been going from one shroom to another. If you know, you know.
Ours. And basically everyone else who's ever been to Japan. We went to Kura Sushi. I'm sorry. In our defense, we don't have a Kura Sushi anywhere where we live in the US without having to fly to another state. And if we're gonna take in what Japan has to offer, why not their equivalent of a McDonald's, right? On top of that,
wait.
we also
Is Kura Sushi like that? I don't... Wait, I need to check. Do we even have that in Sweden? Kura Sushi... Sweden... No, we don't, so... Wait, what? There is an... Sushi terrorism. What? Well, I don't know. Well, we don't seem to have it here, so for me, I love echo excitement. Like, oh, nej, is that Tim? Nej, I know that. I know. Tem.
had the benefit of allowing people to order food without having to talk to anybody, which is great for nervous foreigners with the language barrier who don't want to accidentally inconvenience anybody. Echo tried a lot of...
I will say, there is nothing better than the self-checkout and stuff like that in restaurants these days. I say that even if I speak the language, the less contact I need with people, the better. Gosh, man, I want to try sushi, man. Real sushi, like.
Stuff. I mostly had the meat. Oh, and also, every 5 plates, you get a chance to win a gachapon, of which I won on my first try. The rest of the day, we planned on getting a few things from Daiso and Book Off Plus in a sort of shopping district in Ueno. Or maybe Ueno is the shopping district? I don't know. But it was a really nice place. Just about every few feet, there was a store that caught our eye. We even found a nice clothing store where I got this cute, cozy sweater that looks like low-level RPG gear. And it helped keep me warm the entire trip. Speaking of which, I wish I could show you the absolute amazing fashion that was on display in some of these clothing stores. If it weren't for our budget, I would have personally gotten about a dozen outfits. Fun situation that happened while we were out. I was feeling thirsty at one point, so we stopped by a convenience store to grab something to drink. I found a can of lemon water that looked pretty refreshing, so we bought it. Found a nice spot to sit and refresh ourselves, and went about our way in more of the shopping district. But then I started to feel a bit woozy.
Oh, was alcohol in
Echo
it?
had a look over my drink, and it turns out it was alcoholic. And
Oh.
I hadn't even noticed. Being a little tipsy in public was not a big deal. But what was of note is that I had finally found an alcoholic drink that I liked. Some of you may remember I did a few drunk gaming streams in the past with my friends, and know that I usually can't even stomach a few sips, let alone the chugs I was taking for the stream.
Oh,
So this was a big deal to me. It may come as no surprise to people who remember those streams as well that I am a huge lightweight. So even this little drink with 5% alcohol content was giving me red flush and a warm, cozy feeling.
Aww. Well, I don't drink alcohol either. One is because I had lots of meds, and I should not combine alcohol with those meds. But even before that, I never been into alcohol. Like, I never really drink. I've taken sips like that, or like, ooh, I can't. Like, the strongest I drink is like cider, and I like cider. Like, it's tasty. Like, yeah. So I'm happy I'm not the only one that is like, alcohol is not for me. So finding something that is actually good like that, that is, definitely. And that's a very cute art. I like that.
The next day, we did a bit more aimless exploring, just to get a bit more of our bearings around the immediate area, and somehow accidentally found ourselves at the Tokyo Skytree, of all places.
This is the heist music when you're stealing something.
It's not like it was all that far from our Airbnb, but it was still a pleasant surprise to land there without really meaning to. And inside was a lot of cool stores and food stands, but most importantly, and most dangerously, gachapon machines.
Oh my god. Oh no, I would be so stuck with this. Oh my god. Man. And that is a fun thing as well when you're exploring stuff like this. It's to find something new, you exploring, finding whatever. Like, whoa. It's a white ball.
They're literally all over Tokyo. In fact, on our way through some of the subway stations, we came across dozens. But here they were, stacks upon stacks of them, much to the dismay of our wallets. Luckily, we were able to hold some sense of impulse control, but from that point on, Echo devised a plan and began saving our 100 yen coins in a very special little pouch. Earlier that day, Echo also secretly got me a bunch of probably the biggest grapes I have ever seen in my life. See, we had decided to come to Japan in October because that would be the time when it'd be both grape season and persimmon season. Echo was interested in the latter fruits, whereas I don't like grapes, but I do love grape flavors. It's definitely one of my favorite fruit flavors. And in America, there's this one drink.
Wait. What did my northern eye see there? Strawberries, raspberries at the bottom. Well, it's what we call. Fuck. Nah, I just really like strawberries. That sounds like something very wrong. Oh my god. I mean, I do like lemons. Gosh, and apples. The only apple I really like is the Granny Smith one. You know, they like the dark green ones because they are kind of sour. I like sour.
Favorite fruit flavors. And in America, there's this one drink that I really like to get whenever we go to our local Asian market. Ramune. And they had a grape flavor that I love. I also love this candy that could be found in the same store called Haichu. And so, for a long time I wondered, a lot of Japanese grape flavored things sort of taste similar. Do grapes just taste different in Japan? So, this was my chance to finally see if I might like Japanese grapes more than American grapes.
I believe these are Concord grapes. Is that what they're called?
Damn, they are big.
It's a different type of grape from the one that we have in America.
That looks more like fucking plumes than grapes. I never seen grapes that big. What? God damn.
Better than American grapes or about the same, neutral? Still not a fruit guy?
I'm sorry.
I will happily eat them. I'm excited.
Alas, I guess I just don't like grapes.
Aww.
The next couple of days, we decided to rest up and do some work in our apartment because, yay, being a YouTuber means you are never truly free. But that evening, we did go to what I personally consider to be one of my favorite.
I recognize that one. Oh, what is his name? Oh, nay, it escapes my brain hole. He doing... is it Kaka? He doing like all of these really cute little animations and stuff. And I know that he did it on like a DS as well for a while, which is just wild, man.
Favorite places to go in that entire trip, a local Yakitori izakaya, a bar that serves grilled meat on little bamboo skewers. The food was great. The drinks were great. I even found another alcoholic beverage that I enjoyed, so that was another win. But the thing I liked most about it was the manager, who was incredibly patient and accommodating to us from the instant we stepped in. It was probably pretty obvious to him that we were tourists, so even though we could not speak a word of each other's language, he was nice enough to gesture to us each part of the bar for us to understand the regular procedure. Use the hand sanitizer, pick a seat that leaves room for others, order a drink before you order food. But coolest of all, he would point to each item on the menu, which did not have an English translation, and taught us how to read and pronounce each item, including pointing to the display as to which one each item corresponded to. I don't know if this was just because we were foreigners or if it was just standard procedure there, but he would regularly check up on us to make sure everything was good on our end. And if that wasn't cool enough, at one point, Echo had decided to translate the menu for my convenience because unga bunga stupid American brain not knowing another language. But one day, we had come home from that restaurant and I had lost the menu, which really sucked. Echo put a lot of work into that thing. But then, when we returned to the Yakitori place, it turns out the manager had found and kept Echo's translated menu and held onto it for us. This man single-handedly watered my crops, cleared my skin, and cured my depression. I love him.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, seriously, people like that they are too precious for this world, man. Oh my god. Just the going through the efforts of doing all of that, you know? Like they could just ignored it and done nothing, like, and that is just a really, really sweet thing to do. And I mean, people will go for that. I mean, it's gonna be amazing. Oh my god. And now I get hungry, man. Why did I
Another
watch
work day, so nothing interesting going on. But what was important was that today was Burnable Trash Day. If you're not familiar, Japan has a very specific method of how they do waste disposal, and it's your responsibility to categorize your trash. Sure, they have sanitation workers pick up the garbage like normal, but it's your job to make sure the right trash is stored correctly and in the right place. In America, we only really have trash and recyclables. That is, unless your local government decides to take the recycling bin away and make you drive all the way to the recycling center. But anyway, you usually just kind of throw everything in one place.
Yeah, that's not good.
In Japan. To keep things simple, there are really two main umbrellas that all trash falls under in Japan: burnables and recyclables. Easy enough, just like the States. But with the recyclables, you have to separate them and store them a certain way for trash pickup, like bundling papers together, putting metal cans all in the same bag, cleaning out any reusable cups so there aren't any food bits left in it, and the like. It was a very different way of doing things than Echo and I were used to, so
it's kind of like we do here in, I don't know if it's all part of Sweden, but at least where I'm living right now, we do have like a little building just outside where I live, where we have like different trash cans for different things. Like it can be for iron things like cans and stuff like that, paper, we have burnables, we have lots of these stuff, so we kind of sort it out there as well, like in the different right bins and everything. And she did is amazing.
It took a bit of time to figure out, but once we did, it was kind of nice knowing that our trash was going to the right places.
Aw, I like that little trick. Oh no, that is so cute. Oh my god. How is that so adorable?
Today was our first day of special plans. Disney Sea. It was one of the first available things we could book, and thankfully it wasn't all that busy that day, so we never really had to worry about crowds or too long lines. I think it was a bit more of a park than a theme park, as me and Echo spent a lot of time just sort of walking around since the rides were fairly far apart. We only really got to ride like 4 rides before deciding to call it a day, which we were overall fine with, but me personally, I just wish there were more rides for the size of the park, or if the park was a little smaller so there wasn't so much walking needed between them. We also grabbed a few souvenirs for some friends.
Thank you for bringing me to France.
Yeah, we'll have to check for bedbugs later.
Okay.
Paris bedbug. That is a cool night. We call it JoCat night. Okay, that didn't work out.
A lot happened this day. I mostly stayed in and near our Airbnb to sort of rest up after going to the Disney park yesterday, while Echo had a girl day where she went to Tobu and got some cakes. She actually did quite a few girl days on our trip, and if you want to hear about those, feel free to subscribe to her channel where she'll tell you all about it. For me though, it was nice to just have a rest day where I could wander and take in the local area where we were staying, especially with how convenient the public transportation is. Okay, speaking of, can I just talk about the public transportation really quick? Because I think that was probably my single most favorite thing about staying in Japan, or at least in Tokyo. The fact that there are trains and buses everywhere that help you get where you need to go, and how it makes just about everything within walking distance. Sure, there are roads and stuff in the larger parts of the city where having a car would definitely be beneficial, but me and Echo never had to step foot in a single car the whole trip, save for once. In America, there are very...
Foreshadowing is a literally device. Oh my god. But yeah, I have learned that in the United States you don't have as much bus and train traffic as we have elsewhere. Like where I'm living, there is like 1 minute from where I live, I can walk to a bus station, and there goes a bus there like every 30 minutes. On at least on the weekdays it's a little bit not as much traffic because this is a small town, but still having the possibility for that is really, really awesome because you don't need to rely. I don't have a driver's license. I never had a driver's license. I tried a little bit, but I was like, you know what? I'm way too anxious to drive a fucking vehicle that can crush somebody. No. So, yeah, bus and stuff like that is something that is just feels good to have around, you know?
Few places where we have things like trains and bus stops. They exist, but really you'll only ever find them in certain very dense cities that have been around since the colonial era. And even then, a lot of them get replaced by roads and highways. To get anywhere in America, you need a car, full stop. And yeah, there have been attempts to add in more public transportation, but for some reason, it never really took off, and it's a real mystery why. No one truly knows. It's a big mystery, really. But in Japan...
I love the sass. Yeah, nobody knows why. Nobody definitely don't know. Oh my god. And that's the thing as well, like... it reminds me because my uncle is a cop here in Sweden, and I remember when I was meeting him, and he was on the other side of the road, and I was walking over the road, you know, and there was no traffic stop, and there was no cars anyway, so I was like, hurry over, and I said like, oh, I hope you don't do arresting me for jaywalking. He's like, we don't have that here. About what? Well, okay, I didn't know that because I assumed we had, because I've seen in every fucking American movie that you can be arrested for jaywalking. Okay, if you're walking over the road where there is not, you know, a walk path for people. And then I learned that it was kind of created by the big car manufacturers for the fact that people were walking on the road and got hit, and then they tried to sue the manufacturers or the drivers and stuff like that. And instead they pushed for it to be illegal, and yeah. Kind of fucked, man, when corporations have more power than people, like, oh, fuck.
Or at least in Tokyo, you can get just about anywhere on foot. There are train stations at just about every other block, and navigating them is so simple and easy to understand that children can use it, and do. Whenever we would go somewhere, me and Echo would occasionally see a kid, no older than 10, get on the train all by themselves with no parents or escort or anything. They just know how to use the trains and buses. It was especially helpful that all the signage was super foreigner-friendly, since Tokyo had just recently renovated the city to be foreigner-friendly for the 2020 Olympics it was supposed to host. before the... Yeah. What made the whole thing even more fun was that at about every station, there are desks with stamps for that station, and each stamp had a different design. And it was my and Echo's mission to get a stamp at any new station we stopped at whenever possible. We even got these cute little sketchbooks from one of the stores at the Skytree that we would put them in. Echo's is a lot fancier than mine because she would draw cute little doodles to represent what nearby attractions and things were at that station. And what we did there. But all this to say, if there was one thing I could bring home from Japan to the US, it would be the train system. Please, please, God, please, I just want trains. Please, please, no! The next 4 days, we didn't really do anything special. Spent it mostly just living in Japan. We'd do work during the day, head out to grab lunch at noon, maybe explore a bit of the city, come back to do more work, go out for dinner, maybe get distracted by an arcade for an hour or 3, check out some convenies and grab snacks, then come back and get ready for the next day. It was kind of nice to just wind down and take it all in.
I like that shirt he got there. As you said, it looks very fantasy. I like that. Oh, gosh. Man. It's so nice. I'm getting jealous. I would love to do something like this.
Folk that might sound like we were wasting our vacation days, but I don't know. Having to do something exciting and having a strict schedule every day during a time that you're supposed to be spent relaxing doesn't sound all that enjoyable to me.
No, I don't understand. Why would people complain about that? First of all, it's your vacation. And that, as you said, that is the goal. You're supposed to be relaxing. You're supposed to be having just time of your life, so to speak. Like just chilling and having good. And exploring every day. I mean, yeah, of course you do that. But every single day? That's exhausting. Like, you need to recharge as well. That is why you are on vacation. And it's already overwhelming with everything you're going through, because there is so much new things you're bombing your mind with. So it's constantly all of that. So you should know. It's good to have a good some days just off, especially if you're gonna be there for like a month. Then the entire idea, like, bruh, you need to relax. You need to take a break.
Now, not everyone is able to spend a month on vacation, whether it be because they can't afford it or their schedule doesn't allow it. So I hope this doesn't come across like I'm saying the way we did it is the best way for everyone. But we did plan for a whole month specifically because we like having days where nothing's scheduled and we can just sort of go about doing whatever we want without having to worry that we weren't maximizing our vacation time. Plus, we did sort of have something special to do most of the days, as Echo's scheduled while I sat sucking my thumb in the corner because planning things is scary and I'm just a little guy. It's my first day. So we did at least a little variety, not just constantly on mandatory fun mode. If anyone has ever had helicopter parents, you know what I mean by man.
I don't really have helicopter parents. I have like a little bit of an jet plane dad or something. And I do see the art in the background there. Looks like you were made for it.
Mandatory fun.
Aw, that's so cute.
This day, we planned to go to the Book Off Super Bazaar because I needed a second monitor to facilitate my work. See, I normally would bring my own monitor, but I've had nasty luck with every single time I fly with one. Doesn't matter how padded or protected it is, the airline will always manage to break or bend my stuff. So this time, I said, no more packing monitors. I'll just get one in Japan. And so we did. Book Off is basically a massive secondhand store with just about everything you can think of inside. From clothes, to bags, to musical instruments, to sporting equipment, it's got everything. We even found a few Pokemon plushes to bring home for some friends. What wasn't so great about it was that while we were browsing, we had a basket with a few items already, and at some point we accidentally crossed a section where that item was supposed to be stored in. And so it began beeping its alarm non-stop until an employee found us asking if we were going to buy it. In which case, we confirmed, apologized profusely, and immediately checked out so as to never bother them ever again.
Oh no, that is horrifying. Oh my god. That happened to me in the past, you know, when you think you paid or you didn't know that where you're gonna pay, so you're walking and then suddenly it starts beeping. Or even if you have paid, it happened that the alarm still go off. And you're like that, like, oh, I have not stolen anything, I swear! Like, you get and everyone is looking at you like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm just a little guy, and forgive me. And then you never return there again. And that is a cool ass art there. Don't eat in front of me, I'm hungry, man.
Oh, that's like a beignet.
Pokemon!
Today was a special day. We were going to the Pokemon Center because I had planned on grabbing a bunch of plushies to give to friends back home since there's so many Pokemon and they're not always so easily available to buy if you're in the US. And in the cases where they are... Anyway,
Capitalism!
You see all the Pokemon merchandising. They had keychains and stickers and jewelry and dozens of other things I hadn't realized were even in the realm of possibility of what Pokemon could make into a branded product. What I really appreciate is someone...
Did I really do missing no to earrings? That would actually be kind of cool. Oh my god. Yeah, I would not be able to go into this store, man. I would not be able to. I would want to buy everything and I can't afford it. God damn it, being poor sucks. People that say, hey, money can't buy your happiness. Fuck you! It can buy me food, it can buy me cute plushies of Pokemon. Of course, money... Oh, fuck! Oh, see, man, this sounds like a cool store, though. It's like one store I could spend hours in.
Who plays the games, though, was at the front of the store had a nice little mural with all the different generations of games being showcased. What wasn't so nice was they had Pikachu singing the Pokemon Center theme on repeat the entire time.
Yeah, that sounds...
And my heart goes out to all the employees who have to listen to it for 8+ hours a day, every day, all the time. At one point, it started to really get to us, and Echo started punching me in rhythm to the Pikachu cries.
Oh.
I don't get it. Pokemon has a massive...
My god, I just feel going mad. It is bad enough, you know, when you go to a store and they're playing Christmas music. At least there is a few different Christmas songs going through, and that's bad enough, but same... Pikachu,
library of music.
Yes!
Just let the employees listen to something else. Free them from this yellow electric rat prison.
Man. Why did that Pikachu have cake? Pikachu.
The next few days were what I was personally looking forward to the most from this trip, because they were lined with visits to a bunch of themed cafes. 2 of them being themed after...
Wait, what's that? Wait. Was that
trip?
Pingu?
Because they were lined with visits...
It's Pingu! Whatever, fuck, it sounds bad. Oh my god. That's all, and the Kirby's, oh my god.
It's to a bunch of themed cafes. 2 of them being themed after my favorite video games, you may know of them. Today though, it was the Final Fantasy XIV Eorzea Cafe in Akihabara.
Oh my god.
Funny enough, the very same building also had a Dragon Quest cafe and one more themed cafe that we were going to tomorrow. But what really made this special was that we had the collab cafe queen herself, Emi Richu, with us too. She had already been to this cafe before, but being a 14 player, I was ready to drop some sick lore onto her ignorant mind. The cafe itself was really cool. They had 14 music playing, which was always nice, and the walls were covered in various official art and props evoking the game. I ordered the Fired Dodo, which was basically a deep-fried chicken leg, and Hien's Big Blee acclaimed traditional cuisine of the Mole tribe. A bunch of sausages and some potato wedges in a cast iron skillet. It was alright. Echo and Emily each got a Fat Cat meat bun. Emily also ordered the Raktika Greatwood Ayilo, essentially a small shrimp ceviche.
Ceviche.
And all 3 of us shared a faux hollow chocolate toast, as well as the guild soaring cheese potatoes. Some cheese fries arranged like one of the attacks from the boss fight from Shadowbringers.
Yeah, that looked actually cool. I like that.
The food was okay.
You
My
could eat
personal
it?
favorite were the fries, but the real stars of the show were the drinks. Each one themed after a different character, location, or job from the game. In really clever ways, too. I got the Gunbreaker and Crystal Tower. Echo got the White Mage and Crystal Tower. Emily got the Samurai and Dragoon, and each one was super cool and unique in how they were themed around their namesake. Crystal Tower, for example, had this rock candy pillar sticking out of the drink, just like the tower itself. The Gunbreaker had popping candies that you could throw into the drink, like how Gunbreakers load cartridges into their gunblade. The White Mage had a cute little rose representing the blood lily you use to devastate all within your path.
Indeed, all evil.
Samurai was basic and boring, just like the job in the game. But my favorite was the Dragoon, where you had a blueberry soaking in cherry syrup to represent the accursed eye of Nidhogg. And I was basically nerding out about all of this at both Echo and Emily the whole time we were eating. Each drink also came with some mystery coasters as well, which had extremely nice promotional art from the various characters, expansions, patches, and events from the game. Now, Emily had already been to this cafe before, but it was real fun as a person who actually plays the game to be able to share how much thought and fan service went into all the dishes and drinks in order to elevate them beyond just being named after their subjects. If you want to see her review as a connoisseur of themed cafes, she actually did a video that included Eorzea Cafe, which you can find here in case you wanted to know her perspective as a general customer. As for me though, I am extremely biased due to being a big fan of the game, so I absolutely loved it. Even so, I think it's very clear that a lot of love, effort, and expertise went into making this, not just as a good cafe on its own, but as a good piece of 14 fan service as well. And after we finished eating, Echo...
Oh no, Mortal Kombat. But I think that is the just wonderful thing. I mean, obviously it is made for the fans, you know, those that enjoy the game and stuff. Like, I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. I haven't played super much. I haven't played in a while because I can't afford it. God damn it. But I still think it's a fun game, and seeing cafes like this is just amazing. I love that. That is, it's so cool, man. And now we're gonna see glorious combat here.
And Emily fought in a great battle to the death on who would pay for the check. We ultimately came out on top due to our superior numbers. And then it's time for the gift shop, which had all manner of great merchandise. There were jobstone magnets and posters and plushies and all sorts of stuff. I grabbed a bunch of jobstones for my friends and raid group. Shout out to the Glam Walkers. Thank you for being the coolest, most attractive bunch of players I could ever ask to raid with. But what really caught my eye were two beautiful lore books. The first and second edition of the Encyclopedia Eorzea. Volumes of information about the 14 world, including its history, cultures, down to minute details like each region's diet. And this stuff is like drugs to me, so I had to get them.
I love books like that. You know, when they go in so deep onto like different games and stuff. God, I love those because it's so fascinating to see the little details they create for everything. And oh my God, I love that stuff, man. It's my kryptonite, man.
It was only when I unwrapped and opened one later that day that I had realized the very stupid and, in hindsight, very obvious mistake that I had made. I had just bought a lore book of a Japanese game,
and it was in Japanese.
From a Japanese cafe in Japan. What language did I think it was going to be in? They sadly didn't do refunds, which was fine, but it meant I had these massive books that I could not read because I'm stupid. I eventually gave them to my good friend Shenpai when we got home, but until then, I had two heavy, physical hardcover copies of shame to lug halfway across the planet as a constant reminder of my hubris. After the cafe, though...
But it's not easy when you get so excited for it. Like, oh my God, I get it. And then oh my... Oh, I can feel that. That's something I would do. Get so excited, and I realized afterwards, like... Fuck!
But we had a fun time exploring Akihabara. Mostly playing at the arcades and spending a lot of change we had saved up over the past couple of weeks.
Hey, you got it!
You got the first try.
So, this day was a bit hectic, but it was the nature of reserving spots for themed cafes. You'll know what I mean soon. First up on the agenda was the Monster Hunter Cafe, in the very exact same building as the Final Fantasy one. And Emily was happy to join us for this one too. And much as I love the Final Fantasy Cafe, and it was definitely impressive and kitted out, the Monster Hunter Cafe is the absolute pinnacle of what you can do with the idea. The venue was bigger, they had more seating space, there were way more and larger decorations all over the place. Weapons and armor displayed everywhere. They even had a barbecue spit. Listen,
so cool.
I'm not saying the Final Fantasy Cafe wasn't a 5 out of 5. What I am saying is the Monster Hunter Cafe
6
is
out
a
of 5.
6 out of 5. As for the food, Emily and I both ordered the Teostra Fire Mappo Chicken Katsudon, served with rice and curry. And I got what I believe to be mandatory for every hunter, the expertly cooked bone and meat. Yep. It's the well-done steak.
So tasty!
Echo got the smoked salmon carpaccio,
good, though.
which was themed as an Arzuros' favorite food. And the Yomogi's special bunny dango. It's dango. For drinks, I
want to
ordered the
try
Mega
dango.
Potion, which was a citrusy drink representing the main potion, with additional syrups you could mix in, possibly to stand in for the buffing potions like hot and cold drinks or armor skin from the game. I personally only really added in the blue syrup, which was blue syrup according to the menu, whatever that means. The other
How did it taste? Blue? It reminds me of one of our little brothers many years ago when we were eating candy. Like, and how does it taste? Beige. It was beige candy of some sort. That was the only thing he could imagine it tastes like. It tastes like beige.
two were not my cup of tea. Emily got the Ray's Wing Ratha, which was a strawberry soda with cola popping candy and more of that mysterious blue syrup. While Echo had the Kagero Violet Tea, an iced tea with soda and violet syrup. I still had room for food, but withheld because we had plans to go to another cafe soon after this one. Why? I'll get to it. But Echo was ballsy enough to order a dessert because she has a sweet tooth that must be sated or else she'll explode. So she got Kirin Lightning Strike Parfait G, which is the G rank version of a much smaller, inferior parfait, I presume. Funny enough, it had the exact same kind of rock candy that was used in the Crystal Tower drink from the Eorzea Cafe. Thusly, I conclude that the Crystal Tower is a massive Kirin horn and that one day Eorzea will face a very rude awakening when they find the ginormous horse buried under Mordona. Overall, this...
That would have actually be horrifying. Like, oh yeah, this Crystal Tower is actually the horn of an enormous, super-sized super horse. Like, we are in danger!
The cafe was amazing, and I actually have a hard time deciding if I like it more than the Eorzea Cafe. The presentation was definitely a step up, but it's not like the Eorzea Cafe was lacking in the visual department. If I had to pick a favorite, I think Eorzea just about beats it out on account that I think I preferred the food and drinks on their menu just a bit more than the Monster Hunter one. The steak was middling, and the chicken katsu, although good, I feel I could get chicken katsu like it anywhere. So why was I saving my appetite? Well, because an hour after our time at Monster Hunter was finished, we needed to get to the Kirby Cafe by the Sky Tree. Because that was literally the only time we were able to nab when reservations opened up. I remember staying up at 3 a.m. to help Echo book this thing, and having 2 or 3 of our selections immediately getting snatched up by someone before we finally got one. We tried to book a 3-person seat so Emily could be included, but every single 3-person slot was booked immediately. And I mean immediately. Not to mention, you have to include your name in Japanese. So Echo and I were frantically trying to translate our names so that we could type it out in katakana. It was probably the most stress our relationship has ever been under. Thankfully, we did secure the spot, but the only time slot we could safely grab was unfortunately only 2 hours after the Monster Hunter Cafe, and we weren't able to include Emily, who is very understanding and didn't mind. Thank you for your sacrifice so that we could enjoy Kirby. So off we went.
That's a good friend, man. That's a good friend.
We're bound to the subway. On the bright side, the trip had very few to no interruptions, and we actually managed to make it there early. We got a seat inside not too long after, and this place, although small, was Very cute. At the front, we got to take pictures with a giant plate while wielding a giant fork and spoon next to Chef Kirby and Waddle Dee. And decorating the center of the cafe was Wispy Woods, the most beat-up Kirby boss of all time.
Yeah,
my favorite part of the cafe was the atmosphere. Some jazzy Kirby tracks were being played all the while we were there.
I like that. Man,
for our meals, Echo ordered the Waddle Dee lunchbox, which had a salmon and avocado rice bowl, while I had the Kirby lunchbox, which was another rice bowl, but with hamburger steaks and lots of veggies. I split it with Echo because I didn't quite like half the contents of the bowl, and I may not have been the only one because it's apparently a beef bowl now instead, which I would have much preferred. Thankfully, it wasn't the only thing I had to eat, as I ordered the Kirby burger that came with pasta and corn potash.
I love the bun. That is so cute. Oh my god, Kirby buns. And the little star. Oh, dude, this is so cool. Delicious time, precious memories. Oh my god.
Pasta and corn potash were good. The burger was not. The bun was and the meat tasted dry. Echo said the salmon and avocado bowl was the best restaurant food she had ever had. But now, we faced a new problem. Having eaten at 2 cafes in just a few hours, we were stuffed. But Echo was determined to not leave until she had a dessert. We almost got the Kirby cake, but it was strawberry flavored, and I am not a fan, so Echo would have had to eat the whole thing herself, which was not happening. She got the Kirby's fluffy pancakes instead, which was still strawberry, but far more manageable for one person. I helped a bit with the sides, though. Echo says it was okay, but no regrets. And then it was off to the gift shop, which had tons of adorable Kirby memorabilia. And most importantly, Kirby Gachapon. Overall, it was a pretty good cafe, but I feel the food, at least aside from a few standout dishes, could have been better. The change in menu items since we've been there probably indicates that they were thinking or being told the same thing. What else that was nice about the Kirby Cafe is that it was directly connected to the Skytree Mall, to the point the exit out of the gift shop leads directly into the mall itself. So we browsed the mall a bit, made some impulse purchases, walked off 2 cafes worth of food, and overall had a nice time out. Back-to-back experiences aside, I'm still glad we got to do them both.
Yeah? I mean, even if you, like, the food maybe not been the greatest or something like that, just the experience and the chance to actually be there, I think that is an incredible value in itself. Like, just being able to explore and being at such place. And of course, though, if they get better with the food, that's just better. Like, man, I'm hungry now.
At some point, while we were hanging out with Emily, there was a conversation along the lines of...
Oh, Echo, you like Sanrio? Are you planning to visit the Cinnamoroll Cafe?
There's a Cinnamoroll Cafe?
A cinnamon roll?
So, today we went to the Cinnamoroll Cafe in the Shinjuku Mall. It was a walk-in, so no reservations needed. It was also fairly small, but not very packed, so we were able to get seating fairly quickly. Sitting all around the cafe were some cute little Cinnamoroll plushes, which gave me anxiety, considered there were some very stain-prone food around, and the boys basically a canvas waiting to be painted on. Regardless, I got the spaghetti with meat sauce that was apparently a collaboration at the time with Totonu Konu, who is apparently a character from the manga Don't Call It a Mystery. I have no idea what the manga is about. I am only learning about this now as I'm writing this script.
Same here.
Echo, meanwhile, got the blue curry in the sky, which was a pretty basic rice and curry dish with a few bits of meat thrown in. For drinks, I got some sort of blue...
But that looked kind of cute, though. It looked kind of funny when it's blue like that. Seriously, as soon as they add like a little bit of food coloring to change the color of food like that, I like that.
Drink, of which I cannot for the life of me find what it was called, but I remember it being okay. While Echo got this mustache drink, the Vienne coffee. We also both got a dessert, since we didn't really have anywhere else to be that day, so might as well. I got a stack of pancakes, while Echo got a parfait. Basically, all the food at this cafe was really, really good, so props to the cooks.
There was an adorable little corner merch store that had a load of roll-themed items, and
that's so
I
dangerous.
Had to hold Echo back from grabbing just about everything off of the shelves.
It was a humble little cafe that was nice enough to stop for food. Now, after we were...
Isn't that Iron Mouse? I will also say once again, the art style and everything is so fucking cute in this. This is adorable.
It was time for our special thing. So I mentioned earlier that Echo was collecting the 100 yen coins each time we got change. It wasn't just to make some of our transactions a nice even amount, although we did do that sometimes, but more specifically to save them all for one very important thing.
What is my purpose?
Gachapon.
Let's go!
Let's go! Woo! Gacha.
Today was our designated Gachapon day, where we would be spending pretty much all of our saved up change. About 20,000 yens worth.
Woo. That's a lot of shame, buckaroo.
Half of the day was dedicated to feeding Gachapon machines and collecting their precious little toy poops. We were ecologists on the hunt, and our quarry was a wilderness of plastic. We bounced around both the Shinjuku Mall and the arcades in Akihabara, basically until there were no more machines we were interested in. And we got loads of cute little things that will forever decorate our house and accessories.
Oh my god, yeah, that I am so weak for stuff like that because I love to collect little cute things. I'm a hoarder and collector. Let's see, where's? No, I put it away. As you can probably see, I my shelves and everything. I am gonna move in about a month, so I've been starting to pack things down. And I have a little box with like pins and stuff that is very cute. But I think I actually packed it down already. I like to collect those things though. Adorable.
Once we did have a fill of choking hazards, the wallet abuse was not over. You see,
oh no!
We were at an arcade. And although the Gachapon was no longer interesting us, the various prize games were still ripe.
Yeah, claw machines, man. They are scams, man.
And not to brag, but I was a master of crane games. On more than one occasion, I managed to first try prizes that were giving Echo tons of trouble. What can I say? I have magic fingers.
Indeed. Intense fingering. As I usually say when it's a quick, you need to smash something very fast, like intense fingering! And then I like
and
die.
It makes me wish we had these kinds of arcades in America.
Oh, I want this meat.
It's such a cute meat.
I want thy meat!
Yes!
Yeah!
Oh, it's so cute. Look, you can take the bone out.
Round meat.
Oh, that's suggestive.
Yes, I thought that too. That can be used for a different thing, for a different bone, if you know what I mean.
That looks very sphincterous.
Great minds think alike. Ish?
All throughout our trip, we often would stop by any restaurant we'd come by that looked interesting to get food.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes that can be playing Russian roulette with your stomach.
Yeah.
And because of this, at some point, I had unknowingly eaten something bad. And I got food poisoning, which laid me out for nearly the whole week. I would spend the following 4 days in bed, doing nothing but sleeping and occasionally messing up the bathroom.
Yeah.
But not me. This is my video now.
It's Hossa Takeover!
I went to Daiso and I got a bunch of meds to try and help him feel better because there wasn't much I could do to heal him otherwise. So I decided to go out and have a girl day. That way he could just have the room to himself. I went to an IKEA and I got a hamper. I also went to
IKEA?
which
IKEA is in my blood. IKEA.
is this huge superstore where I got some really cool colored contacts. But then at one point my phone nearly died, so I had to hunt down a McDonald's specifically so I could charge it, because I know they have outlets and charging stations. Once I felt like my phone was charged enough that I could use Google Maps to get home, I made my way out to the train station.
Did you forget stuff?
And then halfway there, I realized that I forgot my bag, my contacts, and everything that I just bought at the McDonald's. So I took off running back to the McDonald's, desperately hoping that no one stole all of my stuff. It was all exactly where I left it. Oof. Should I explain what the Big Pooh is here?
No.
Okay. I also went out and I scouted the Big Pooh, also known as the Asahi Beer Hall, for some super secret plans I have later.
Scoot. So yeah, I was out of commission for 4 days.
Scoot.
To the point we basically had to cancel any plans we had for that week.
Yo, sick. Aww. I love girls. Well, so do I. Boys are fine too, I would say. I'm still surprised there were people being upset about that, you know? That entire JoCat and the girl thing, liking all the girls, weird people, man.
Another day for me to rest. And although it did suck that I basically had to give up a couple of days of this vacation, we even had to cancel going to a ramen festival we had planned. What really sucked, on top of it all, was the weight loss. I've never really shared this part of myself publicly because it's kind of an insecurity of mine, but I've always had a hard time staying at a healthy weight. I used to be underweight fairly often as a kid, and although I'm doing a lot better now, I'm still a decent few pounds short of where I'd like to be. It doesn't help that my main job involves sitting at a computer for hours, and my main hobby involves sitting in front of a television for hours.
Yeah,
and I just picked up another hobby that involves me sitting at a craft desk.
Whammer! Damn, that is actually really good. Is it going with salamanders? I am... God damn it, I packed down my Warhammers as well. God damn it. I wanted to show my... Wait, I actually have pictures. I can show that through my power of editing. Like, oh, ha, 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 if I remember to add it into the video. But yes, Warhammers. But yeah, I can feel that, man. I can feel that. All the hobbies that makes you sit down, it is rough. Though I can also relate to that problem with not keeping a healthy weight, but I'm on the different side of the spectrum, rather being very overweight. When I was a kid, though, I was extremely skinny and small, and I was bullied for that. And when I reached my teenage years and everything, I started to eat more, and I got bigger instead. And then I got bullied for that. So either way, I got bullied for my weight, and since then I have a hard time to get down my weight, because when I get anxious, I stress eat. I try to find whatever I can to eat, because I feel bad, and I suck at it, and I just getting upset spaghetti about it. So yeah, there's something that can really affect your mental and how you view yourself, you know. So I hope that JoCat can overcome this. It's not as easy as us gaining some weight, you know. It's still the mental barrier that you need to deal with, because it's
for hours. I sit around a lot,
you know?
But since our trip began, I had been eating 3 to 4 meals a day regularly, walking everywhere, going up and down stairs all the time, carrying around all our prizes and souvenirs. I'm not saying it was a workout, but it definitely put me on a healthier routine, and I actually started to gain some healthy weight, which is why it was extra sad that while I was resting up, I could only stomach eating like 2 crackers for a given day, because anything else would have been too much for me.
It'd come out.
So I had lost a lot of the weight that I had gained, which was kind of sad.
Why not exercise at home?
Okay, that's cute. But yeah, I mean, as a big guy like I am, I could easily say like I'm jealous for like JoCat being able to lose weight so easily. But I will instead say that it is harsh when you are on that side of the spectrum and have hard time gaining that weight and being healthy, because having too little weight and it's not good either. Like, it is not good to be overweight, you know. So yeah, there are different struggles as it is. Like, they are based in pretty much in the same area, so to speak, because it's about your body and your health and our mental connection to it. Because it becomes like an you have like anorectics and stuff like that. There are so many things that is related to our bodies and a better weight than their mind. Our brains are weird, man. They are big jellos up there. Big jello beans.
Today I was feeling marginally better, but a bit under the weather still. We finally got Beef Bowl, which I am still surprised it took that long to finally stop by a place, considering I would tug at Echo each time we passed by, asking if we could go, please, please, please. And I'm not kidding. Tied with the Yakitori place, Beef Bowl is probably my #1 favorite thing to eat ever. To the point we proceeded to go there the next 3 days in a row. I love it so much. We now make Beef Bowl at home in America, and although it's not nearly as good, I still love it.
Yeah.
Beef Bowl, my beloved.
That's such a cute art.
Since I was feeling almost back to 100%, we decided to celebrate. We would spend the day at the arcade.
Yes! It reminds me, here in Sweden, in Gothenburg, we have a theme park called Liseberg. And, you know, it's all of these theme parks, there's lots of roller coasters and shit, everything. And there's the big building where they have arcade game stuff. And that is my absolute favorite place. Go in there and playing those games, and arcade games are so fun, man.
And can I just go on another happy tangent real quick and say I love Japanese arcades. Sure, we have a few back home in the US, and they're fine and all, but something about the fact so many of the ones in Japan have prizes attached? I don't know, I want more of them. Echo too, maybe even more so. It's kind of dangerous. We spent so much time and energy trying to get this one bunny suit Chika Fujiwara. We don't even watch or read Love is War. Echo just really wanted it and got so tantalizingly close. But we ultimately gave up when we had spent a collective 30 tries, which probably amounted to the same amount of money it would have cost just to buy the figure.
Yeah.
But to Echo, it wasn't about the figure. It was never about the figure.
It was about
winning. What I personally love about the arcades is they almost always had a taiko machine. I love taiko. I love rhythm games, but especially taiko. Something about having physical sticks to bang the drums. Plus, whoever's in charge of licensing the music for the game did a fantastic job, because they have banger after certified banger. They even got Klonoa tracks in there. That's how you know it's a good game.
Indeed, Klonoa, man. That looks fun, man.
One thing I feel important to mention, I've been talking positively about my and Echo's experiences so far, because it was positive. But make no mistake, we have no delusions that Japan is some perfect paradise. Like any country, it has its own social, economic, and political issues. Its work culture, its rocky history with women and LGBT people, the state of its economy, and that these are problems that Japanese people are entirely aware of as well. I'm not bringing anything new to the table here. I personally don't feel informed or qualified enough to speak on them, as I'm just a foreigner. I am by no means trying to romanticize Japan. I'm also not trying to say that America is that much better either. We got our own problems, and some of this is the pot calling the kettle black. I lived the first 11 years of my life in an Asian country. I know firsthand what differences in culture a few thousand miles of land can be. We just wanted to enjoy that freshness of a different culture for a bit before returning to our normal lives. Not trying.
And I think that is important. Like, yeah, of course, you know, when you're seeing about different countries through the lens, like, and foreigner like this, you can either see it like, oh yeah, this is awful place because yada yada yada, they just have shit going on there, or it's this like glorification. Like there, I now know for a fact, especially many weebs and gamers and people on the right, for that matter, is very like glorification of Japan. Like, oh yeah, they are the epitome of greatness, but there's a lot of effing problems there, like in any country for that matter, and there's very different problems for different places. And of course, if you're not living there, it's very often very hard to even understand or know what is problem, because you, like any other country, they're showing the good things. Like, oh yeah, when I'm thinking Japan, I'm thinking Pokemon, I'm thinking Nintendo, I'm thinking video games, I'm thinking anime. I don't think about, you know, the horrible work conditions many have there, like they're working themselves to death, as all these things. And as JoCat mentioned, there are so many things going on that is problematic and problem with. And we don't often see that, since we're seeing it from a different lens. And enjoying that though, being able to enjoy and going there and just enjoy the country in itself, I don't think it's wrong. But also not to think like, yeah, this is a perfect country, because there is no perfect country. All of countries have massive problems one way or another, and yeah, I think that is important to be able to like differentiate. And I think most people can that, like, yeah, it was nice to be there, but you know, I would see this place and this and that, but I will not be blind to the fact that, oh yeah, there is a problem here as there is problems in any country. Like, I think it's important to be able to
trying to say anything more than that.
See that.
But I just wanted to mention that somewhere in here, in case people got the wrong idea that this video is Japan good, America bad.
Yeah. Woman. Can you hear in 4K with 2 sets of ears? That's a very good question, actually, when you think about it. I do wonder. Oh my god. But yeah, I will say there are definitely lots of bad stuff in America. There's good stuff as well. Though, of course, right now I see mostly bad stuff, but that's because political stuff, you know. Still, what I think most important is the good people of different countries. Like, I know plenty of really amazing Americans, and I think that is important to think about as well, because in the end, there's people. Sadly, though, of course, that doesn't have one. There is a crazy government doing crazy shit or whatever, like in different countries, whatever, like. Because in the end, they are also people, but at the same time, like, fuck, man. We're here to watch JoCat and have a good time.
Today was a very special day for Echo because we were finally going to Hokkaido, which is a massive art supply and stationery store, where I had to...
I love that we got to see the Space Marine maid. I love those arts. They are so cool, man.
Her down several times because she kept escaping to look at another random part of the store. And who could blame her? This place was full of so many tempting supplies to grab. Hell, I haven't touched anything traditional in years, and I still fell victim to the allure of shiny new art supplies. Yeah. And so I grabbed some cute little stamps, sketchbooks, and even had a few reference books for poses and outfit designs. This one's my favorite. The building itself was structured into having several floors, each floor specifically containing a certain kind of art supply. Like, the bottom floor was for stamps, stickers, and sketchbooks. The next floor would be something like paper of various weights, thickness, and material. And the next floor would be all pens, pencils, scissors, and paper guillotines. It was an artist's wallet's nightmare. If you want to see specifically each and every item we got, and also a few more art stuff we came across just during our stay, Echo actually has a video going through each and every one of them. It was about this time as well that we were thinking, despite coming here with plenty of space in one of our suitcases for all the stuff we wanted to take back home, with how heavy all our things were getting and how much space it was all taken up, we would likely need to buy another one. And eventually did. Thankfully, we only needed that one.
Help!
Today was real special, though not one that we planned. So Echo really wanted to go to the Asahi beer hall. Asahi being one of the largest drink producing companies in Japan. Think the Coca-Cola company or PepsiCo if they also produced alcoholic drinks. They're also responsible for my new favorite drink of all time now, melon cream calpis soda, which I would have to grab anytime I saw it in a vending machine, no matter what. Seriously, if anyone knows how I can get this in the US, please tell me. Anyway,
that sounds funky as fuck, man. What the heck? I mean, I guess I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, can't you like bulk order stuff like that? Or maybe bulk, I mean like buying like a big pack ordering? I think you can do that. I guess you need to find the right channels though, and probably not cheap, so to speak. It's probably expensive, but...
Such a massive company, they have a couple of massive buildings in Sumida by the river, which are supposed to symbolize a tall glass of beer and what I assume to be a shot glass with foam whisking over the top of it, tapping together for a cheers. And yeah, it's supposed to look like foam. At least that's the intention, but... Oh no! Echo wanted to go to the Sky Room.
It looks either like a poop or a big yellow sperm. The artistic interpretation of that, I leave that to the imagination of people.
The restaurant they had at the very tippy top of the beer glass, which has a gorgeous view of Tokyo. The food there was okay, nothing mind-blowing, but A pleasant enough meal. I had a sausage link and some pizza, while Echo got a couple of alcoholic drinks because she was very nervous for some reason. And it was there, while we were enjoying our food, looking out over the beautiful Tokyo skyline, that I was thinking out loud. This would have been a great place for me to propose. Sorry I don't have a ring, but we'll consider this our engagement trip if that's okay.
My heart is like a jar of pickles.
That's so sweet.
Kinda sour, kinda sweet, soaked in brine. No sandwich
Oh no!
lower than a side dish, no deep fry that I can call mine.
Oh, that is. Why am I starting to cry? Oh my god! No, that is so. No!
Ball of salt that won't go by itself. No pasta to complement.
That's so. No!
Some waiting time spent sitting on
That's
the
so
bar
precious! Oh my god!
So yeah, Echo proposed to me right then and there. Look it, we took pictures. A place we would highly recommend if you're ever in Tokyo. Thank you, Asahi Sky Room.
Oh my god, why am I tearing up? Oh no, that is so sweet. Oh my god. Congratulations to that. Oh no. Oh god, that is so precious. Oh my fucking god, I love that. It makes me happy. It makes me feel things, man. That's so precious.
We wandered the city a bit more, and when we were hungry again, decided to stop by a ramen place at the recommendation of my best friend, buddy, pal, friendo, Shenpai. Hey, look at that, you're in the video 2 times in a row. It was called Ichiran,
Amazing.
and it was located in Shibuya, the big city. It was quite a long line when we got there too, but when you go in, they assign you a seat along this lineup, where each person has their own little space to eat ramen. And in the center is where they took your order to prep food. They give you a little paper menu where you get to pick your noodle size, firmness, how much broth you want, the concentration of the broth, how many contents of food you want in it, the works. And I know I've said this a lot for a lot of the food here in Japan, but this is the best noodle dish I have ever eaten.
Oh my god, I want
in my life.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Shen.
I
for
want to
recommending
eat
this
that.
place.
That looks
Echo
like.
and I were lamenting on the verge of tears, recalling this park to write for the video because the noodles were just that good. Speaking of food, today Echo wanted to go to a very specific onigiri place called Onigiri Bongo in Toshima, which was a bit out of the ways from where we were staying, but Echo insisted we had to go. And she wasn't the only one, because when we got there, there was a hefty line to get in.
Like, we thought the ramen place was long. This was long.
This place had a reputation for being
Hey, Sea
probably
Dog!
the best onigiri place around. And you could tell because we got there at around early evening time, and by the time we finally made it in, the sun was gone. And credit to them, the rice balls were absolutely delicious. Was it worth waiting several hours? Echo thinks so. She sure does. She says it was worth it. That's what Echo says. I'm not saying they weren't delicious. Probably the best onigiri I have ever had. Would I be willing to wait the 2 to 3 hours again? We'll be ordering online next time.
Oh yeah, that's probably better for it, you know. And god damn it, why does he look so good in maid outfit? It is made for him. I already made that joke. Ugh.
The final special planned event for our trip, the Ghibli Museum, which we weren't able to get any pictures for since they had a no camera policy once you were inside the building. We were able to take some of the outside, which still looked beautiful, what with all the greenery and overgrowth around the building. If you don't know Studio Ghibli,
when you haven't eaten in 5 minutes in Japan, you need to start eating your partner. But Studio Ghibli, oh my god, I love Ghibli movies. Oh my god. My favorite Studio Ghibli movie is A Castle in the Sky, Laputa. Seriously, it is my favorite. I always watch it around New Year every year. I just love it.
Yes,
man.
you do. Shut up, liar. Inside were various rooms and displays of the process the studio goes through to make their films, including entire albums of concept art, individual frames of animations, and even recreations of Hayao Miyazaki's office. The whole building was laid out like a cozy building from one of their films. Very whimsical, very colorful, very dense with detail and clutter. And plenty of activities for kids too, including a fluffy cat bus play place, which I was kind of envious.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that I could go into, but I'm too big. It was for kids. So we just kind of watched them have fun. There was a section...
There is times like that when you're jealous on kids, like, god damn it, I wish I had that kind of thing when I was a kid, so I could play it, because that would be so fun.
Of the museum, all about the illusion of animation itself. It was a dark room with various rotating dioramas, old film machines, just a bunch of cool old tech that would have been used to make animations before the streamlining of digital media came along. And at the very back of the building, they even had a theater for attendees to watch a cute little short film about 2 children, a human and a rabbit, and their rivalry over a playground area. This is gonna sound cheesy, but that signature Ghibli vibe, the atmosphere, the feeling of whimsy and nostalgia and childhood wonder was just about everywhere in the building. And that includes the cafe outside as well. Yep, the Ghibli Museum has its own themed cafe, the Straw Hat Cafe, which was... I didn't really like the food. I think the only thing that looked good to me were the french fries, which were extremely unflavored and soft. But whatever, that wasn't really a place to get lunch anyway. Regardless though, the museum itself was a great experience, and we got to keep our tickets as a souvenir, which each one was a few frames of film from one of the movies. Look, I got a bunch of fish. I think it's from Ponyo. That's the only movie that exists with fish in it.
That's cute. I like that though.
This was our last full day in Japan, and we wanted to take care of a couple of last things. Firstly, we wanted to dispose of all of our plastic containers from the accumulated gachapon that we had played. So we hauled a massive plastic bag full of them, went to the Skytree, and deposited them into one of these large recycling stations that
Hey! Melissa Tiefling and Louise Lister. That's amazing. I can hear that Yoshi sound like that's amazing.
Have given us special bonus gachapon pulls. If only our phones were Japanese and worked with the app that you needed. Alas, we were content with just plain old recycling. For now. Secondly, we needed to pack our stuff, and thankfully, with the extra bag we grabbed, we were able to fit just about everything without too much trouble. Third, there was a place I wanted to go to finish some business I had started. You see, in the Eorzea Cafe, they stamp this little card for each drink you order, and once you reach a certain amount, you get a reward. In my case, pin of one of the, at the time, 7 main city hubs. And so Echo and I ordered some drinks, chugging them down like we were grinding for an achievement, and managed to reach the reward and nab a pin, which I decided to go for the objectively best city hub, the Crystarium from Shadowbringers. And you can disagree, but you're wrong. And lastly, we wanted to stop by our favorite bar one last time.
Yeah, man.
In Japan, there's a tradition called omiyage, basically giving your host or coworkers small, usually inexpensive souvenirs as mementos from a trip. We wanted to give the people of the Yakitori place some items we had brought from the US. An American dollar, some ranch, and scented candles from Louisiana. We actually brought quite a few things for this tradition, mostly for the place we were staying at, but this Yakitori restaurant left such an impact on us, we thought it necessary to give our thanks there as well.
Oh man, that is so fucking wholesome and sweet. Oh my god, that is sweetness. Oh my god.
It was time to go home. And as such, we had to do something we never had to do the entirety of our trip. We had to get in a car. Yeah, much as we probably could have walked our way to the airport using the metro, we didn't want to have to haul our luggage all the way up and down so many stairs again. So we grabbed an Uber and got an extremely polite and friendly driver who spoke English incredibly well, much as he would hesitate to ever admit himself. He even offered to take care of our heavy luggage and was surprised and seemed to panic a bit when we were so eager and ready to load it ourselves, not wanting to inconvenience him. As we were saying goodbye to Tokyo, he made the drive so pleasant and calming. It was nice to have a full conversation with a Japanese person as the final capstone thing we did on a trip, like a host asking us if the stay was satisfactory. I'll never forget how happy he was to hear that we had a good time staying in Tokyo. For the second time this trip, a middle-aged Japanese man single-handedly repaired my house, solved my finances, and rebooted my favorite franchise. I love him. He dropped us off at the airport and was kind enough to even load our luggage onto some trolleys, which was a surprise to us. Geez, these are so convenient. Why don't we ever use the airport trolleys back home?
Yeah.
We checked our bags, hustled through security, waited in a building with a very yonic ceiling.
Why does it look like shirt and the boobs and the, the opening of the shirt? Am I the only one that see that? Am I damaged?
and then we flew back. That was it. We said goodbye to Japan. It was a good trip. I look forward to going back someday soon.
My God. Chadwick!
The trolley is $7.
Yeah, that is a steal! Oh my God! My God, what an adventure though. Seriously, this have been an adventure. But like, as I said, I can't travel myself and have that adventure, so at least I can see other do it and having a good time. And most of all, seeing the proposal and everything. Oh my God, my heart, my black hole riddled heart, feel things again. You're so wonderful. I love this. Seriously, this has been a blast watching, I would say. Just such a wonderful thing, man. Oh, man, why all the food, man? I want to eat, man. I want to eat too now. I'm hungry. Man, it looks so good. That's all, no more. God damn it! You're not allowed to be this cute. Holy shit! Oh my God! What a video! What a video! Look at the Pikachu's harassing the poor sisters that are working there at the Poke Center. But oh my God! What a video! This was amazing to see. I love the style and how they tell the story as well, and showcasing with these very cute animations and style and everything. Just really wholesome. Seriously, JoCat is just doing this so incredible well. I love this. This is a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy I did take time to watch it here. And just hopefully you guys already are there watching and supporting him and Echo and everyone that are part of this. It is just a really amazing thing. And I've still got to get over that little proposal. That's so cute. Oh my God. That's so wonderful. Oh my God, that's beautiful. Wonderful stuff. Seriously though, and just amazing video. I love this from the start to the end. Everything about it is just wonderful. Really beautiful work and amazing stuff, JoCat. Really awesome. And once again, links to original video on their channels in the description. Go over there and support them. And just have a good time. And we will see you next time with a different video.